Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at something really crucial for small businesses, moving past guesswork.
Absolutely. We're talking about using tools like Google Analytics and, well, AI insights to make smarter decisions.
Right. Because running a small business, it's tough. You want to grow, but knowing how effectively,
Yeah,
that's the challenge.
it really is. It often feels like you're just navigating in the dark, doesn't it?
Exactly. So this deep dive is all about taking that website data you probably already have
Hmm.
and turning it into actual insights using tools that are, pretty much readily available.
Yeah, unlocking that story hidden in the numbers to guide what you do next.
And the good news is you don't need to be some kind of data scientist.
Not at all. We're focusing on two main things today. First, Google Analytics GA4, the current version for just tracking what's happening.
Okay, the what?
And second, these AI-powered tools that help you understand the why and maybe even predict what's coming.
So if a business owner actually gets this set up, what kind of stuff can they realistically learn?
Oh, quite a bit. You can see, where your visitors are coming from. Is it social media, Google search,
Mm-hmm.
direct links,
Okay, so traffic sources.
traffic sources, yeah.
Yeah.
And then what they do once they arrive. Which pages do they look at? How long do they stay? What are they clicking on?
So basically, are they engaging or just bouncing off?
Precisely. It tells you what's working, what's resonating, and maybe what needs a bit of a rethink.
And it's not just about browsing, is it? It goes deeper.
Yeah, absolutely. You can start to see what products or services people are really interested in, which ones catch their eye.
You can track conversions too, I assume, like when someone actually buys something.
Yes, exactly. You can see when a visitor turns into a customer, figure out which marketing campaigns are actually driving those sales.
And you mentioned prediction.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
even start to get a sense of what customers might want next. It's about moving from just reacting
Mm-hmm.
to actually making informed choices about where to focus your efforts.
Okay, let's make it practical. Say you launch a new promo without tracking. It's kind of like shouting into the wind, right?
Totally. You might see a bump in traffic, maybe, but you don't know who saw the ad or where they came from online,
Or what they looked at specifically.
or, crucially, if anyone actually bought anything because of it. It's just fuzzy.
And that's the risk, isn't it? Relying on gut feel alone.
It is. You could be pouring time and money into things that just aren't working, and you wouldn't even realize it. That's why getting that data foundation sorted is so important.
Okay, and that foundation you said often starts with Google Analytics, GA4. For someone maybe just vaguely aware of it, what's the basic function?
So Google Analytics 4, it's basically a free tool from Google. Think of it like a silent observer on your website,
Just watching everything.
pretty much. Tracking all the activity, how people are interacting with your site in real time.
Okay. So what are the really key bits of data a small business owner should look at first in GA4?
Well, you definitely want to see which pages are most popular, how long people spend there, are they actually reading or just glancing?
Engagement time.
Right. Also, what devices they're using. Is it mostly mobile, desktop, tablet? That's important.
Yeah, definitely affects design.
And, roughly where they are geographically. Visitor countries, these are the basics, the building blocks for understanding who's showing up.
Okay, so it gives you that initial picture, not just raw numbers, but a sense of who's visiting and how they behave. Do you have an example of this in action, a small business, using just this basic GA4 info?
Yes, absolutely. Let's take Luca's Bakery in New York.
Yeah.
They started looking at their Google Analytics,
Okay.
and they saw this really clear pattern.
Yeah.
A big chunk of their website traffic, and importantly, their online orders, came from Instagram.
Right.
And almost all of those Instagram visitors were on their phones.
Ah, so mobile traffic from Instagram was key. What did they do with that insight?
Well, they realized their mobile checkout process.
Hmm.
It wasn't great, it looked fine on a big screen, but ordering on a phone was clunky.
Okay, makes sense.
So, using that GA4 data, they focused on optimizing the mobile checkout. Made the form simpler, easier to type, streamlined payments.
And the result? Did it work?
Did it ever? Within just 1 month of making those changes, Lucas saw a 30% increase in online orders.
Wow, 30%. Just from optimizing based on where the traffic came from and what device they used.
Exactly. That's a real aha
Yeah.
moment, right? The basic GA4 data pointed them directly to a problem they could fix with a big payoff.
That really shows the power, even at the foundational level. Okay, so that's GA4. Now, you mentioned adding AI. How does that take things further?
Right. So that's the next level. Think of it like this. GA4 tells you what happened. You see the traffic, the page views, the sales number,
Who got the facts?
the facts. AI comes in to help understand why it happened, and maybe even predict what's next.
So it adds context and foresight.
Exactly. Instead of just seeing sales dipped, AI might help figure out why, and maybe even flag if that trend looks like it's going to continue.
How does it do that? Is it just magic?
Huh? Not quite magic. AI algorithms are just really good at crunching huge amounts of data. All that stuff GA4 collects,
Mm-hmm.
and spotting subtle patterns, trends, connections that a person might easily miss. It leads to deeper insights.
Got it. Okay, you mentioned a few AI tool categories. First up was Zoho Analytics. What's the deal with that one?
Zoho Analytics is often highlighted because it's, well, pretty user-friendly. It usually has these drag-and-drop dashboards.
So not super technical.
Right, you don't need to be a coder. But the really interesting part is it's built-in AI, often called something like Zia Insights.
Zia Insights. And what does Zia do?
It basically explains what's happening in your data in plain English.
Mm.
So instead of just showing you a weird spike on a chart,
Yeah.
it might say something like, hey, traffic to your winter coats page from Colorado jumped last week, probably because of that Facebook ad you ran about the snowstorm.
Oh, wow. So it connects the dots for you.
Exactly. It interprets the data, which is incredibly useful if you're short on time or don't have a dedicated analyst.
That sounds really valuable. What else can Zoho do with AI?
It also gets into predictive stuff. It can look at past data and help forecasts say, or predict future sales trends. It can also send you alerts if key numbers suddenly change, up or down.
So you can react quickly to opportunities or problems.
Yeah, like if a campaign suddenly takes off, Zia might flag it so you can maybe put more budget behind it.
Okay, Zoho sounds like a really accessible starting point for AI. Then you mentioned a more advanced route, Google Analytics plus BigQuery plus Vertex AI.
Yeah, it's definitely stepping it up.
Mhm.
This is more for businesses that want really deep custom analysis. Maybe they have some tech skills in-house or they're ready to invest more.
How does it work, basically?
You essentially export all the raw, detailed data from GA4 into Google BigQuery. Think of BigQuery as a massive, powerful database in the cloud.
Okay, like a data warehouse.
Exactly. And then you use Google's AI platform, Vertex AI, to build your own custom machine learning models on that data, tailored specifically to your business questions.
Right, so much more customizable, but also more complex to set up. What kind of things can you do with that setup?
Oh, the possibilities are much wider. You could build super accurate sales forecasts for inventory planning. You could create really detailed customer segments based on subtle behaviors.
Like predicting who's likely to buy what next.
Yeah, predicting purchase likelihood for specific products. You could even personalize website experiences in real time based on what the AI figures out about a visitor. It's for tackling those really specific, complex business questions.
Okay, so Zoho for easier, out-of-the-box AI insights, and BigQuery Vertex AI for deep custom modeling. Got it. The third tool was Tableau. I know that one's pretty popular. How does AI play there?
Tableau's interesting. It's used by everyone from tiny startups to huge corporations. Its main strength is data visualization.
Making data look good and easy to understand.
Exactly. You can pull in data from lots of places, GA4, Excel sheets, Shopify, whatever, and build interactive dashboards. Makes complex stuff much clearer.
And the AI part, is it built in?
Yes, increasingly so. Tableau has AI features baked in now that can automatically spot outliers or unusual patterns in your data.
Things you might miss just looking at a chart.
Right. It can highlight potential opportunities, things that aren't obvious, and it can also generate natural language summaries of key trends, a bit like Zia in Zoho.
So it could flag, say, if sales in one region suddenly drop off.
Yeah, it could flag that deviation and might even suggest why based on other data it's looking at.
Okay. And you had another real-world example for this one, Tiny Tags.
Yes, Tiny Tags. They sell personalized jewelry. The founder, Tina Stein, connected her GA4 data to Tableau.
Okay.
And analyzing how people use the site, she found something really interesting. Customers who browsed the personalized necklaces spent, on average, 3 times longer on the site than other visitors.
3 times longer. That's a huge difference in engagement.
What did she do? Well, seeing that strong interest, she decided to double down. She focused her Facebook ad campaigns heavily on promoting those personalized necklaces.
Targeted the engaged audience.
Exactly. Targeted people likely interested in custom jewelry.
And the result for Tiny Tags.
Over the next 3 months, their overall revenue jumped by 42%.
Wow, another big win, 42%. Again, it shows how finding that specific insight from the data, using a tool like Tableau, and then acting on it, it drives real growth.
Absolutely. Combining the analytics with good visualization helped pinpoint that high-value behavior, which led directly to a successful marketing shift.
These examples really hit home. It's not just theory. Okay, so for someone listening, maybe feeling a bit, overwhelmed by all these tool names,
Yeah, it can sound like a lot.
what are the first practical steps, especially if you're not super techy?
Good question. Doesn't have to be scary. Step one, absolutely foundational, is get Google Analytics 4 running on your website, if you haven't already.
How hard is that?
Google has a setup wizard that walks you through connecting it. That's job number one. Start collecting the data.
Okay, GA4 installed. What next? Just stare at the dashboard?
Well, start by just making it a habit. Look at the basic weekly reports. Don't try to understand everything at once. Just focus on a few things.
Like what?
Like, which pages get the most visits? What's your bounce rate? How many people leave after just one page? And where's the traffic coming from? Google, social, direct. Just get familiar with those basics.
Okay, baby steps. Get familiar with the GA4 basics. What about dipping a toe into the AI side? Which tool is best for a beginner?
For starting out with AI, I often suggest Zoho Analytics, mainly because it's designed to be intuitive and that Zia Insights feature we talked about is really helpful.
The plain English explanations.
Right. And many of these tools, including Zoho, often have free trials. So you can play around, see if it clicks for you, before committing any money.
Try before you buy. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So once you have GA4 and maybe something like Zoho, what kind of questions should you be asking your data?
It starts simple. Ask direct questions tied to your business goals, like which product page gets the most visits? That tells you about initial interest.
Okay.
Or which traffic source actually leads to the most sales? Where's the best ROI coming from? Google Ads, Instagram, email.
Right, what's actually working?
Yeah. Or even what time of day do most people shop on my site? That could help you time your marketing pushes better.
Those are great examples, very concrete. And the final step, I guess, is actually doing something with the answers.
That's the crucial part. Insights are useless if they just sit there. If you find a popular page has a high bounce rate, okay, why are people leaving? Fix the page. Improve the description, add better buttons.
Test things.
Test things. If you find Instagram ads are bringing in buyers, maybe put more budget there. It's a cycle.
Yeah.
Analyze, act, measure, repeat. Optimize based on the evidence.
Okay, so quick recap of the main tools we've touched on. Google Analytics, GA4 is the foundation.
Yep.
Then for AI insights, Zoho Analytics is a good starting point.
User-friendly, yeah.
Tableau is great for visualization, pulling data together, and has its own AI features.
Very versatile.
And for the really advanced custom stuff, there's GA4 with BigQuery and Vertex AI.
That's the high-end option, requires more technical know-how.
Right, so people need to pick what fits their needs and comfort level.
Exactly. There isn't one single right answer for everyone.
So the big takeaway here really is you don't need a PhD in data science to start using AI for your business.
Absolutely not. The first steps are totally manageable. Get GA4 set up, maybe try an accessible AI dashboard like Zoho, start looking at the insights.
And the value comes from using those insights, like Luca's Bakery or Tiny Tags did, to make smarter choices.
Optimize your site, tweak your marketing, understand your customers better. It all adds up.
It's like you said earlier, the data is already telling a story.
Yeah, a story written in clicks and scrolls and sales or lack thereof. These tools just help you read that story, understand what your customers are actually doing.
That's a really good way to think about it. So for everyone listening, what stories might your website data be telling you right now? What could you uncover if you took a closer look, maybe with a little help from AI? Something to think about.
Definitely. And if you are thinking about it and want a bit of help getting started, Dr. Seun Ogunmola, he's an AI evangelist, product manager, experienced guy, is offering a free 15-minute consultation to help set up an analytics system.
Oh, that's great. Where can people find out more?
You can check out his website. It's www.seunogunmola.com.ng, or find him on LinkedIn. Just search Seun Ogunmola, Seunogunmola. He could definitely help point you in the right direction to start making sense of your data.